Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Emmanuel Ndungo. You are watching Citizen Briefs at 4 o'clock. Let's get into our top story of the afternoon so far. The Independent and Electoral and Boundaries Commission has appointed Moses Ledamo Sunkuli as the acting Chief Executive Officer and Commission Secretary, effective immediately. In a statement, the IEBC noted that Sunkuli, who is the current Commission's Director of Electoral Operations, will serve in an acting capacity for a period of 6 months or until the recruitment and appointment of a substantive CEO is finalised. The position fell vacant after Marjan Hussein Marjan left the Commission in what was announced as a mutual agreement to terminate his services. The Commission also noted that Sunkuli brings extensive experience and internal institutional knowledge to the role. The IEBC says it wishes to announce the appointment of Moses Ledamo Sunkuli as the acting CEO and Commission Secretary, effective immediately. Sunkuli will serve in an acting capacity for a period of 6 months or until the recruitment and appointment of a substantive CEO is finalised. Moving on, the Committee on the Implementation of the 10-point agenda agreed upon by President William Ruto and former ODM leader, the late Raila Odinga, has come out in strong defence of its performance following a thrashing by ODM Secretary General Edwin Sifuna. Speaking at the launch of the nationwide public participation exercise in Kisumu, committee members lashed out at Sifuna for failing to consult them before issuing what they say are high-voltage statements that could compromise the work done so far. During an interview on Citizen TV, Sifuna slams the committee for failing to provide concrete evidence of the implementation of the agreed 10 points, which include addressing corruption and inclusivity, as well as compensation for victims of protests.
And indeed the whole nation to address these issues.
He goes to the media and says they have done this committee zero. He rated us zero. It's very unfortunate. A senior member of ODM, the Secretary General of ODM, and instead of guiding and supporting this process, because we are doing this work for Kenyans.
Do not listen to any other imposter, any other idler, any other person who has given themselves the responsibility of taking charge of our jobs. This job was given to us by the two principals themselves, and they are the only ones who retains the sole mandate to talk to us about that, the functions of the committee.
So even as we proceed to Singapore through Malaysia, let us also build Kenya to the point that even those countries can begin to admire. We have the capacity. We might just need to coordinate a little bit more. We might have to bring into face the sink and the psyche that we have as Kenyans to get there.
Moving on, President William Ruto has defended the NYOTA program as a game changer in creating opportunities for young people who for a long time have been at an economic disadvantage due to a lack of employment and opportunities. Speaking during the NYOTA Business Startup Capital Disbursement event at Budwani Waterfront Park in Malindi, Kilifi County, the head of state said the program is in line with his beta agenda of creating sustainable jobs and expanding opportunities for the youth. During the event, 5,040 youth from 60 wards in Lamu, Kilifi and Tana River counties received 126 million shillings as business startup capital grants.
We want inclusivity. We want every young person, irrespective of their background, irrespective of the corner of the country, how remote your village is, you must get an opportunity like every other young person in Kenya who live in our cities, who live in our towns, who live in our villages. We must give them equal chance to participate in this program.
The program has objectives to create entrepreneurship, to create jobs, to create employability skills, and to ensure young people access government procurement in national government and county governments.
In other news, over 140,500 residents of Isiolo County are set to receive emergency relief food as the national government moves in to cushion families hit hard by prolonged drought and rising insecurity across the region. The food, which arrived on Wednesday, is part of a 15-truck delivery carrying rice and beans for vulnerable households, with 2 trailers already flagged off. This is as the national government also rolls out a livestock offtake program and hay distribution to support struggling pastoralists with transport costs met by the county government.
Each one of these lorries have a total of 560 bags of both rice and beans. 300 rice of 50 kg and 260 bags 50 kg of beans.
The biggest challenge wakati yoyote tukipewa chakula na serikali imekuwa transportation. Na nataka kushukuru governor kwa sababu amejiwekea hiyo jukumu. Amesema chakula isikae kwa sababu ya logistical challenge ya transportation. So amesema ikifika tu hivi yeye atahakikisha provide logistic support iende kwa kila sehemu.
Hapo mwisho wa hii wiki tutakuwa tunatoa ripoti kwa sababu tulikuwa tumetuma maofisa wetu ambao wazunguke wafanye wa collect report wale wanyama wamekuwa affected na pia wale watu ambao wako vulnerable ambao wanahitaji usaidizi wa chakula. Hiyo ripoti tutakamilisha mwisho wa hii wiki. Alafu baada ya hii kwa sababu ya leo sisi kama county tunasaidia kwa transportation.
The Supreme Council of Kenyan Muslims has sounded the alarm over the worsening drought situation in the country, warning that millions of Kenyans are facing severe food and water insecurity, especially in arid and semi-arid regions. Speaking on the crisis, the council's national chairman, Al-Haj Hassan Olenado, called for urgent government intervention and collective responsibility from NGOs and citizens, saying it is critical to ease the suffering of affected communities.
We urgently call upon the government of Kenya to mobilize all its water resources, including water tankers from the National Youth Service, the military, the Ministry of Water Resources, to provide immediate help and support to the affected communities. This coordinated effort is essential for alleviating the suffering and preventing further loss of life and livelihoods.
In other news, TVET Education Principal Secretary Dr. Esther Muoria has dismissed claims by the Kenya Union of Technical and Vocational Education Trainers, or TVET, that there was no consultation before the rollout of the modularization program, noting that extensive consultations were held with all stakeholders and an agreement was reached to improve the quality and relevance of TVET training. The program, which focuses on practical job-ready skills rather than theory, was rolled out mid-last year. The PS also noted that fees for TVET have been capped at 35,000 shillings per module, making the training accessible to many learners, clarifying that student dropout cases in TVETs are not caused by the program as claimed by TVET, terming such claims as misleading.
Examining of our students is formative. It is not summative. We are saying that if we are training you to do bricklaying, for example, we will observe you and check that you can do absolute bricklaying as you do it, and we declare you competent in bricklaying. What we are interested in is ensuring that if the young people have the skill, they can be able to do what it is that they are required to do. 1.5 months is enough to train the technicians for solar installation. And they are doing the solar installation here now. And the fee itself in the TVET space, we want to make it very clear this morning that it was capped at 35,000 for all the students, whatever course they are taking.
In other news, more than 2,000 traders at Ruai market were displaced in overnight demolitions at the Kenya National Highways Authority by them. Business owners woke up to destroyed stalls. They blame the county government, their elected leaders and the police, accusing them of abandoning them at their most vulnerable moment. The traders say that although Kenha had issued a notice requiring them to vacate the area, they were left without clear guidance from the county government and their local leaders on where to relocate. They accuse their leaders of remaining silent despite repeated appeals for direction and intervention.
Jana tulikuwa na waziri wa Sakaja anaitwa NYOTA, tukaongea tangu saa 2 mpaka saa 9 juu ya soko. Tukimuuliza tukibomolewa usiku tunaenda wapi, akatuambia suluhisho iko soko. Kuna soko tulikuwa tumepewa bypass, soko tukilima bypass, kuna wakora walikuwa wakiuza wakateka over.
Sisi tumechoka, tumelia kwa sababu kila wakati tukikuja kufungua hapa wanakaka, unaona tumeambiwa tutoke. Na soko yenyewe yenye tunafaa kuenda tukae tufanye biashara tukiwa tumetulia haionekani. So wamama wa hii soko wote wanahangaika sana, kila wakati ni kulia, tunapigwa matia gas, watoto hawajaenda shule.
Kama leo usiku tumeingiza misigo hapa. Na tulikuwa jana kwa DC. Na tukahakikishiwa hakuna soko inakuja kubomolewa. Lakini saa 6 usiku wanakuja na matinga, wanabomolea watu biashara, wanakanyanga vitu za watu, wanaharibu vitu ya watu, na hasa wanaita mpaka askari ambaye anastahili kulinda mali yetu hapa kwa soko.
Moving on, police in Butula constituency have seized 290 litres of illicit changa estimated to be worth 300,000 shillings, which had been hidden in a house in Bumala town, Marachi West Ward. Police Commander Unia Onyancha says the alcohol was discovered following information received from members of the public, and it is suspected that it had been hidden there while awaiting transportation to another location.
Hii pombe tumeipata kwa nyumba moja. Kulingana na vile observation yetu ni kama huyu mama anakusanya hii pombe pamoja kwa nyumba moja na anaisafirisha kwenda mahali ama sehemu fulani. Cost yake ni kama shilingi 1,300. That is the street value. Na tumeweza kushika watu 2 ambaye tunatarajia kufikisha kotini kesho.
Let's go to West Africa. At least 25 people were killed when armed bandits attacked Doma village in Katsina State in northern Nigeria late Tuesday night, despite a local peace agreement. The attackers moved house to house and into farms, tying up residents before shooting them. Security forces later evacuated the bodies, with burials held on Wednesday. The attack comes 5 months after villagers reportedly struck an informal deal with the gunmen for protection. Nigeria's defense minister had warned against negotiating with armed groups, saying they cannot be trusted. In recent years, Katsina State has seen a surge in bandit violence. Meanwhile, the US government has said it has deployed a small number of troops to Nigeria, part of which is experiencing grave insecurity. Let's get into some sports news then. Manchester City cruised into their 10th Carabao Cup final after sweeping aside holders Newcastle United 5-1 on aggregate in a dominant semi-final display to book a final clash against Arsenal. Let's have a look. Should be a thrilling final with Man City and Arsenal. We'll have more information on that when it comes, of course. But my name's Emmanuel Ndungu. That's all the news we have for you here on Citizen Briefs. We have our subsequent bulletins at 7 and 9 p.m. coming to you later tonight. So we'll see you there.